Hi guys, welcome back to Hogwarts Park, and today we're going to build the Chamber of Secrets. But first, I want to show you something, because the park has now officially started to bug out on me. And this is a weird phenomenon that I have only ever encountered once in a park that you don't know, because I've kept it a secret. But I've entered it in the last battle of the builders, so maybe you saw my video. I uploaded into the contestant entry chat. And the thing that is happening is that my dinosaurs, no matter how much time goes by, are now incapable of forming territory, realizing how much space they have, how much forest they have, how many roommates they have. So that leads to, once I transport them, guys like these will always be lonely, which is triggering me like hardcore, but I can't do anything about it. But yeah, first signs that this park might be in trouble. But good news, the other park where I have this problem is performing greatly. It is awesome. The only thing that is, like, literally the only thing that is acting up is this dinosaur territory thing. So if I'm lucky, this will be the same case here. And so we can continue building here until the end of days. That would be kind of cool. But enough of this. I'm now going to start with the Chamber of Secrets. And I'm going to use the monorail arch here because I think it's really fitting and I really like the way it looks. But again, this will be a speed build, so let's go! Alright guys, this is it. What can I say? This is a huge milestone, both for me and the park. Oh, and Nuri is crazy in the background. She's playing, so don't mind weird noises and the occasional cat scream. Yeah, so as you see, I started with the monorail thing, but let me tell you why this is a big milestone in several regards. Because, first of all, this helped me to find my mojo back. And you'll see, I'll tell you when exactly that happened. And I was dreading this because I knew it had to be in the park. And I knew that I don't have the means to recreate anything underground, but like it's one of the main features of this thing, of the Chamber of Secrets, that is so well known by all of us that it is underground. And it has this huge statue, and it has a snake in it. You know, all of that I'm unable to recreate. So I was dreading it. But I think I found a really good solution, but it took me a while. So this episode is long. I hope you won't mind. I am trying to leave stuff out of it. But what got me sort of going was the arch thing that I did for the Ravenclaw entry that we didn't end up choosing, which is totally fine, because this way I can use it for this, which is what I did. But I didn't have an idea how to continue. I just knew that this probably would be the best way to start with the Chamber of Secrets. Because you can create like this long walk down into the abyss. And it has these pillars, you know, we know from the book and the movie that there are lots of pillars and stuff. So it's the perfect thing to use, but then I didn't know. And I wanted there to be like a wall at the end of the tunnel. So I started adding this, this second monorail structure that you just saw me place, and fiddled with that a lot. And as I said, I didn't know what to do next, so I added some monorail bits to the side. I didn't connect these because that messes with the arch. And I just started trying things. And adding forest in front of it, like you see me do right now, and see me staring at things and then asking myself how to continue. Then I just thought, okay, again, trust the process and start doing things. So I placed path and kept thinking about how I could connect viewing galleries to this, where I would have this turn into an exhibit. And then I first decided to use these long corridors that appear when you do this monorail thing, because that's also something that we know about the Chamber of Secrets. It's the sewers, so has lots of corridors and long strips of something, and we saw this in the movie. It's basically water, tall pillars, corridors, but I couldn't make the viewing galleries fit into the gaps because they are too big and they get rid of the pillars. And I tried a lot of things and I cut all of that out because there's no point of showing it to you. But at one point I was like, this is not going to work for me. I'm just adding path and it's just like obsolete, because it's just really just paths leading through this thing and leading nowhere. I don't have any idea what to do with this. So this is when I started to free myself of all the expectations that I had for myself and the entire try-hard thing that I had going, and just started playing with the monorail roof. And all of a sudden, this weird arch. I know it looks weird, and this is the point where I say this build is probably really controversial because of this thing. But it sort of reminds me, on one hand, of like a coiling snake. If you look at it from the side, it really looks like it has something snaky. I can't help it. I see snake stuff. And I guess it's just a mindset thing. You see what you want to see. But then I went into first-person mode and checked this thing out, looked at it from the bottom as a spectator, as a guest, and thought, you know what? This really gives me like Chamber of Secret vibes. I could imagine the big statue of Salazar Slytherin that we saw in the movie, where the Basilisk came out, being there under the arch. Now, I don't want to get you excited. I did not try to recreate this statue with rocks. I thought, this is maybe a bit too much asked of me if I try. I am tempted to try it. Because, using rocks to recreate a human face, that is a challenge in and of itself. And I wasn't ready to take that on because I had the challenge of the entire Chamber of Secrets thing already going, so I didn't need an extra challenge of recreating a human face with rocks. But I'm planning on attempting that anyways, because I want to do the one-eyed witch passage, or I want to recreate the one-eyed the one-eyed witch with rocks. So I'm going to try to do a human face after all. This is, by the way, where it clicked, where I was left with this bit of elevation, and that is when things started to fall into place for me. It started with the monorail coiling snake-like shape, and then this bit of elevation still being there. It just opened up a world for me. I don't know. It's hard to explain. But yeah, if you want me to try and put a Salazar Slytherin statue made out of rocks into this Chamber of Secrets, because I haven't done the background to it yet, because I wasn't inspired for anything, so I left that open. But I don't like that you can look all the way up to the central plateau that exists there, so I have to do something with it. I just didn't do it in this build. And now you see I left this little elevation there and created this little higher walkway that is going to the left, and with this little pond there, and the other side, the right side, is leading down into the Chamber of Secrets, where a creature, a very dangerous creature, is going to be living. And I had no idea what to put in there. But the second I saw that I only had space for just a large puddle of water to put a fish feeder in, I just knew. So this is like literally the build where things started falling into place, and I love it for that. It is a great build. I love it. Okay. Now I started securing the upper part of this plateau. I gave it the build of the Chamber of Secrets some extra room by moving the wall pieces further back, because I wanted to do something. I wanted to add a snake, because there has to be a basilisk in there, right? And the basilisk is just a huge snake. Maybe we'll, with the upcoming pack of big creatures, maybe we'll get a huge snake. Who knows? I'm not I wouldn't bet on it, to be honest. So I decided to make one of my own using the rock technique, and fiddling with the ground here just a little bit to figure out how to put the snake there. It's just this huge body, long stretched body with scales, which is easy. I didn't have to add a face because the face is hidden in somewhere in the whole sewer system and the adjacent forest. So yeah, now I'm starting to add like the little scales to outline the body that is going to snake through this Chamber of Secrets. And the process is the same as with the dragon I did, and it's really self-explanatory. So I'll shut up for a second and let you watch this, and then I'll come back to you later. So there we go. We have a snake. I tried to give it a bit of a pattern, and I tried to work in like a rock color that is different, so it's, you know, contrasting to the snake and doesn't look like a snake made out of rocks. But I just can't help it, you know. Teeth, fangs, I just had to use the pointy rock to secure the entire thing, so to keep the creature that is going to live in there hidden. I mean, why do I make it a secret? I probably put it on my thumbnail, so you know that there's a Spinosaurus going to live in there. Whatever. You know, YouTuber thing. You're trying to keep the suspense up, but it's not working because you're selling it like from the beginning. Whatever. So I put these pointy rocks all around the exhibit, you know, as a substitute fence, to work with a bit of another aesthetic. I kept the grass texture under the snake body. For one, it's green. It's the Slytherin color. You know, snakes being green is not the most abnormal thing you've ever heard. And it helps to give it a bit of contrast to the rock face in the background. So that's what I did. Now I'm putting I put the Spinosaurus in, and I added like a wall of trees because, yeah, it's supposed to be an underground thing. So I wanted to have some coverage so you can't look inside, and but when you're inside, you can't look out of it, and it looks as if there was a wall there. I really like how that looks. The reason I did the monorail wall first was because I wanted there to be a wall, but it's not actually a wall because you can see through. You always have these gaps between the pillars, so it wasn't giving me what I wanted. But I thought using trees would not be ideal because trees are not a wall and trees are not underground. But it turns out the effect the trees give you works out so much more like what I wanted for this, that it was really ideal. And then I started placing these flags because, as I said, I wanted to have a wall there. Checking it from the distance and seeing that it's just such a flimsy little thing, you might as well put nothing there. And then I tried with Les Gigantes, or I don't know how to pronounce them. I don't even know what language it is. It's probably Spanish, but what do I know? Didn't like it, and then I just put this round wall there, and put the Spinosaurus skeleton in front of it. And that was another moment where things started to make sense to me. And put the lights there to have the wall be green. Checked for the right color because I've used the green before, and then I put another wall there to have you feel a bit like not claustrophobic, but it's the sewers. It should be narrow, not feel open, but really closed in. And I felt that was necessary to add like walls and these rocks to give you this feeling of being like really close in. Oh, sorry, that was a long break. And then I used the torches because Slytherins are living in the dungeons, so torches, perfect. Gives you this raw, archaic feel, I thought it fits. Just what else are you going to use in the Chamber of Secret but torches? Turns out green glowing signs, because I like the green light on the rocks. I just like it. I used a ton of green lights in this build and it's perfect. I'm such a fan. What can I say? And I even backlit it with the green because I didn't want any other light color except for the fire than green. And I love it. Okay, enough of the self-praising. Filled with the ground. You can't imagine how much time was consumed by me smoothing this slope over and over again. Now I'm putting a wall of trees behind this, and I'm putting as many trees as I needed to completely hide the monorail station behind it, because that's just what I wanted. I wanted you to see this. Now it looks like an abyss. You have this black wall of trees behind the skeleton and the glowing torches and pointy rocks. I just love it. Oh my god. And this is just really, I just tried things, went with the flow, completely forgot about what someone might expect from this, what I'm expecting from this, you know. I completely shook my try-hard mode that I was in for weeks now, and that kept me from just having fun with this game. And with these videos I'm making for you, and I'm so happy that it's finally gone. It's just so great. See, I'm taking the time to fiddle with the rock placement and the torch placement so it all looks very neat and nice, you know. And then you go down and just are in the Chamber of Secrets watching this like poisonous green Spinosaurus walking in front of this giant snake. Really great. Excuse me. There you go. And then I thought, I might maybe want to have it look like you're walking into the throat of a giant animal with the giant teeth, you know? So I added a few more. And now I'm adding the start to a lovely little guest section. I think I just started to activate the day-night cycle. Yeah, I think I did. And I'm just starting to create a little guest section that is probably the start to the Slytherin common room thing. I'll continue it down this little elevation that is left, but you know, this is the start, and it's facing an exhibit for the Thestrals that I had bred and that have been roaming and been moved a lot of times in this park until I would finally find a space for them to live in, which now happened. And they're Maiasaura, by the way. So I started to add this little pond because I'm trying to recreate the Thestral den that I showed you in Hogwarts Legacy. But then I decided to go somewhere else because I didn't quite know how to do it yet. And then so I went to the entry to all of this and decided to put stuff there. Green flags, green lights, knights, and more green flags. This is how it looks in the daytime. And that's just, it. Then I added a wall of trees there too. Just to, emphasize this feeling of you walking into the dark abyss. And I really wanted to cut off the path that is up here from the visibility down in the Chamber of Secrets, because when you look up, I really only want you to see this dark wall of trees. And it took a lot of trees, but it worked. And now I'm trying to find out what I could possibly put in this exhibit or to this exhibit, so I would have visibility and people go there. I ended up using this log. I tried viewing galleries before, and as you saw, I tried the dome. But I ended up using the log. I don't know. I'm using the log quite a lot in this park build No reason, really. I think probably because it's not in the way of the guest section, but it gives you visibility, and it doesn't stand out as much when you put it in any exhibit, except for maybe desert exhibits, as the dome does. And it has a better view than a dome. I hate the view in the dome. The dome is horrible. So yeah, now I put a Spinosaurus skeleton and some vegetation in. The Spinosaurus skeleton is something that I'm going to replace by the Alamosaurus skeleton. I'm pretty sure of that because it's more snaky. If I manage to hide the legs and the torso, I might be able to have it look extremely snaky. I still have trouble with the J-Halopterus. And now I put in these teeny tiny little lights, because remember that what I liked especially about the Thestral Den, by the way, it had a huge dragon skeleton. That's why I put the Spinosaurus in. I forgot to say that. It had these green fireflies that made it look so eerie and interesting that I wanted to try and recreate that. And the only way possible for me that I could think of was to use these teeny tiny lights and put them in the vegetation, because they don't get rid of the foliage, and you can sort of hide it in there. And so I made sure to only, like in these clusters of vegetation, to never put in more than 3. I even went back and deleted the third one if I had like these 3 clusters, because it was too light for me. I just really wanted you to have like sprinkled in specks of light, so it really reminds you of fireflies and not something else. I really want you to see the spot of light that the little light lamp gives you. And I think, within the restrictions of the game, it worked out pretty well. I just had to make sure that you see, like, the foot of this little light. You never see it, and I think it works best the farthest. How do I explain this? Somehow I managed to put the lights in this exhibit in a way that no matter from what perspective you look at them, they're not like, there's never a light right in front of your face, so you can actually see that this is a light and not a firefly. They're always far enough away for my taste. So if you squint your eyes and you really try go into an unfocused mode, it doesn't look like lights anymore. But I guess it's, again, a mindset thing. You see what you want to see, and I want to see fireflies. Anyhow, now I'm experimenting with these flags, because even though they are for the underwater thing, they are still more green than blue. I was like, when I remembered that we have those, I was like, okay, I'm going to create lots of blue walls in Ravenclaw with them. I can't, because they are really more. I think they're more teal. Aqua, whatever the color is called. So I would personally put them in the green color range rather than in the blue. So I decided to use them here, which is great, because this way I have green flags, the standard flags, the green wall, and these smaller flags that are for the viewing domes and logs that I can play with in the Slytherin section, which I love. So created this little seating section. As I said in the last episode, I really like the idea of having like a common room-esque situation next to the house mascot, which in this case is the Spinosaurus or the Basilisk. I don't know. But I prefer having a real animal and not one made of rocks as the house mascot. So I guess it's the Spinosaurus. And I'm going to continue this little guest section down the slope, as I said. Yeah, some finishing touches with flags. I don't know if I'm going to keep those because they're hiding the rock that the rocks that I put there, and actually really like the way they are. They are positioned because they like form. They do something. Wow. Now I put the skeleton there, just so there's something happening there. Extended the path to work with this little entry of the fish restaurant that I placed there. And yeah, so that's basically, I guess. Wait a second. I think this. Let me see this. I'm not doing anything anymore, am I? No. I think we're near the end. We are. I have no idea what's going to happen next. I think things are happening. Listen to me rambling. I'm so sorry. I'm just so excited for this episode. Now I'm calling the girls Thestral. And yeah, this is it, guys. This is the episode. I hope you liked this build. I'm going to put like some torches in the chamber of secrets, but I don't know if I like this. Look at the Spinosaurus. Lovely. Look at the Thestrals. It works out perfectly for my taste. I hope you like this too. I know the shape of the monorail is highly controversial. I mean, the use of it alone is. I know that not everyone likes this, but I think it looks really impressive. Now I'm going to plaster line the walk down into the abyss with torches, because it's appropriate to do so. It would be wrong to not do it. So, yeah, as I said, finishing touches. This is really necessary. It's getting dark again. Now I'm lining the path leading down to the arch with more rocks. So I really wanted to sell this feeling of being enclosed in something and walking into something, I don't know. And there we are. Now I'm just flying around, looking at everything. I guess this is when I'm calling it a day. No, now I'm placing the torches in the Chamber of Secrets. There we go. Beautiful. And that's it. I hope you liked this. Leave me a comment down below if you think I should try to add the Slytherin face as a rock statue. And yeah, I hope you liked this. Leave me a like if you did, and maybe a comment down below. And yeah, thanks for watching. Take care, stay tuned, stay inspired. Bye bye, guys.